Thank you very much, Brittany. Thank you for joining me this evening. I get very excited talking about this program, not only because it's my job, but it's a program that I really believe in. I have been associated with this program since the launch of the online MBA 7 years ago, so about 7.5 years ago, actually. So I've had a lot of time to observe the improvements that have been made. And so I just really enjoy the opportunity to talk about it whenever I can. I've been working at K-State full-time for almost 33 years. K-State is my first full-time job, although I'm in my fourth role at the university. So K-State's been very good to me. I do have a bachelor's degree in secondary education and a master's degree in communication studies, both from K-State. And one of my favorite things about the program, and I'll get into more detail with it later, is that I traveled abroad on my own for the very first time as part of the PMBA program. So it's a unique aspect of our program, but I think it's one that's very valuable and the students find valuable as well. So as I talk about the PMBA program, I'm going to do it in sort of a generic sense. These are the kinds of things that I think you should be looking for. Hopefully K-State is not the only program you're looking at, just so that you have some comparisons. I'm not going to lie, K-State's program is excellent. So you're making a good choice and at least sitting through tonight's presentation to learn some more. But hopefully when you're looking at other programs, you're considering things such as accreditation status, the cost, the format of the programs, how flexible they are, and the kinds of support services that are available in the programs. So I'll be talking to you generally about that, but then at the end, really reinforce how K-State's program fulfills all of these important areas. So the first bragging point is really what I like to look at it as, is programs you're looking at should hold the Aacsb accreditation status. So that's the Association to Advance Colleges and Schools of Business. That accreditation is internationally recognized, and it's a validation of the high quality of a program. It's a hard accreditation to get, and then you have to work really hard to maintain that accreditation. So we just were reaccredited last year, and we'll go through the review process every 5 years. K-State is in an elite group of universities that holds dual accreditation in our business and our accounting program. So we're in the elite of the elite, so to speak. So but accreditation is a huge thing. You can find a program that will promise you a $10,000 MBA, but if they're not accredited, employers really do look at that. And so you want to make sure that you're looking at an Aacsb accredited school. So another factor that you should be concerned about when you're looking at programs is the cost. At K-State, our courses are $2,500 each, and plus the cost of an international trip that I promise you I'll talk about in a little bit. So for that $2,500, textbooks are provided to you at no additional costs. And we also provide, sometimes you'll need to have access to case studies offered through Harvard Business Publishing, and we pay for those subscriptions for you as well. And you can also, if you are in a situation where your employer provides tuition assistance to you, sometimes they'll only cover tuition. They won't cover additional fees, but just know that you aren't charged anything in addition to that $2,500. It's billed as strict tuition. We do another area that you'll want to be interested in is whether programs you're looking at offer scholarship opportunities. And we do have some scholarships that are offered to distance-only students. So those are offered through the K-State Global Campus, and you can apply for those every semester. For females in particular, especially if you're looking at a career change, the American Association of University Women also offers a very nice grant possibility. That's something that doesn't have to be paid back. They've already awarded it for the 21-22 academic year, but in November, I think, is the due date for the 22-23 year. And it actually provides support to women who are in male-dominated fields, such as STEM disciplines, and business actually qualifies for one of the areas that they'll offer funding for. So you can be creative at looking at different funding opportunities as well. But you also look at your MBA as an investment in yourself and an investment in your future career. The third item you should look at is what the format is like. Are you going to be required to be live at any time? And for K-State's classes, no, we're fully asynchronous. So we use the Canvas platform. So once you're enrolled in a class, the faculty member publishes their course to Canvas. And most of the classes have all of the lectures available from the very start of the course. Our courses are 8 weeks long, so our students normally take 2 classes per semester, but you're only taking 1 at a time. So you're able to complete 6 hours in a semester, but you're not having to juggle 2 different classes, plus work, plus family or other outside commitments that you might have. Are there residency requirements? Are you required to come to campus for 2 weeks a year? And at K-State, you are not. We only ask that you attend orientation once while you're in the program, and it's a 2-day orientation offered every August. And then your international trip would be the other in-person time that you would expect to be. But the rest of the time, your lectures are going to be provided ahead of time for you to watch early in the week, get the readings done, and then turn in your assignment by midnight. Most of the classes are midnight on Sunday every week. And so being able to make adequate academic progress while working full-time is a key that you should be examining as you look at what your educational opportunities are. And then what are the peer-to-peer interactions? Is it going to feel like a correspondence course where you're just doing everything on your own? For K-State's program, you will have opportunities to interact with your peers. There will be some times that you have group projects. You'll be doing threaded these discussion boards through Canvas. And so you will have opportunities to interact with each other and also with the faculty. Flexibility is another important aspect. We have a rolling admission, meaning that we have 5 entry points into our program every year. So if you aren't wanting to start, our next term is beginning in June. So you could start as early as this summer, but you could also start in August, October, January, or March. So anytime a new set of classes starts is an entry point into the program. And there are opportunities for you to start when you want. Our classes are usually offered only once a year. So you'll just have to time things so that if you need a prerequisite that you're taking the classes in the right order, but that's not difficult at all. We can tailor a timeline for completion for you that will maximize a tuition benefit that your employer may have. Some employers are very generous. I've had students that can receive $15,000 a year from their employer for their program. Others might be $5,000 or $5,500. So we can tailor your program to maximize that benefit and minimize out-of-pocket expenses. Most students want to get done quickly, so you can get done in as quick as 2 to 2.5 years, but you have up to 6 years to complete the program. And then I talked about there's no required live presence or login time for your classes. So you just log in and watch the lectures on your time, just so that you're completing your assignments by Sunday. We also have elective opportunities. Our online students are only required to take one elective, but if you want to have a concentration, that's made up of 9 hours. So you would use your one elective, one of your required courses, and then take an extra elective, and you could have a concentration in accounting, marketing, supply chain operations and supply chain management, finance, and data analytics. I had a brain cramp there, sorry. But you can just complete the general MBA. You do not have to have a concentration. So support services that are available. Our online students can avail themselves of the support services that our campus MBA students can take advantage of. I would be your advisor the entire time you're in the program, and I'm very flexible in setting up appointments so that you can either talk to me live or send email, whatever you're most comfortable with. We can even Zoom. Professional development opportunities. We do offer a new professional development workshop every year at orientation. So you're required to come once, but you're allowed to come as many times as you want while you're in the program. And some students like to come each year because they like to take advantage of that professional development workshop. We've done workshops on intergenerational management issues by having so many age groups present in the workforce, where now we have millennials that are supervising baby boomers or vice versa, and understanding where each is coming from helps to create a more harmonious workplace. And that was actually a very excellent workshop. We've also done the Six Sigma White Belt training for people who are interested in doing the Lean Six Sigma training. And then through our global campus, students can do the yellow and green belt certifications for Lean Six Sigma. You have networking opportunities with other students, as well as our Graduate Studies Advisory Council. That's a group of individuals that provide scholarship resources for our students. And they also provide capstone project opportunities for students as well. We have an executive mentor program that you can sign up for and have a mentor. A lot of times people are given mentors in their workplace, but sometimes it's nice to have a mentor who's not affiliated with your company that you can bounce ideas off of and get a more neutral point of view if you're seeking advice from someone else who has good experiences. And then we have a career development office, career service office in the College of Business, as well as at the university level. And our students can take advantage of both of those opportunities if they're looking for a new job by chance, or looking for guidance from one of our career coaches on how to make themselves more marketable if you're looking to make a career or a job change. So K-State's online MBA program is 36 hours maximum. Some students are eligible to waive up to 6 hours depending on what their undergraduate degree was. I've had recently an individual who double majored in accounting and finance. So that individual did not have to take accounting 810 or finance 815. She also minored in economics. So she didn't have to take Econ 815, but then took an extra elective because the minimum number of hours you can take is 30 to get a K-State master's degree. We do require all of our students to have had 2 economics courses, 2 statistics courses, or 1 at the graduate level, and at least Math 205, which here is general calculus and linear algebra. It's also called business calculus at some places. We get quite a few engineers in our program who far exceed our math requirement, and so they take up through differential equations, Calc 3 and differential equations. So they have my deepest respect because math is not my life's calling. And we do waive the GMAT exam for individuals who have 3 years of post-baccalaureate full-time work experience. And if you have a GPA of 3.5 or higher, we waive the application fee. But because you're participating tonight, you qualify for an application fee waiver just by being at this webinar. And the extra bonus is you get to see the world. So I'm actually to that exciting point where I talk about the international experience. So there is an actual course that students enroll in. It's called Genba 875 International Experience. And it's structured as an international business trip. The trips can range from 10 to 14 days. Most of them are on the 10-day side, and that's from departure from the U.S. to return to the U.S. And it gives students an opportunity to interact with C-suite executives at multinational companies. We usually visit 4 to 5 businesses that deal with the major exports of the country that we're visiting. So in the past, we've gone to Taiwan, which is a high-tech country. So we visited Solomon Technologies, Tesla, Intel. We also visited 2 universities and interacted with their MBA students. We had a K-State alumni night where our students were paired with alumni that live in Taipei, and they showcased Taipei from their point of view. It took some time. Some of them went to a festival. Some just went to the individuals' homes just to see what it was like to live there. In Italy, we went to an olive oil producer, a limoncello producer. We visited PricewaterhouseCoopers Innovation Lab. And then we also, when we're abroad, we visit culturally significant sites. So in Taiwan, we visited a Buddhist monastery and also a shrine, and just really got a feel for the country, for the cultural and the living side, as well as the business side. And you get free time. Not every hour is structured for you. So there are times where you can go off on your own, or if you bring your spouse or partner along with you, you can go off and have some time to explore on your own with that individual as well. So what sets K-State's program apart from the rest is our program was specifically designed for people who are working full-time, but who desire the opportunity to finish their MBA. We recommend usually that students only take 1 class at a time. We have had students fast track, but those 8-week classes go pretty fast. You can complete your degree in as little as 2 years or take as long as 6 years. So we're very flexible that way. And you pay 1/3 of the price of similarly accredited programs. So UT Austin, you can pay over $100,000 for the same AACSB accredited degree. You get to learn from faculty who have industry experience, and they're the same faculty that are teaching our campus students. So we're not hiring an adjunct from San Diego to teach in the K-State program. These are our K-State faculty who were highly involved in the development of the online program. And then you also get the opportunity to develop your international competencies. And because we are becoming a more global environment, work-wise and living-wise. And so it's been an institutional goal of Kansas State University to expose our students to cultures different from our own. Many of our students, especially in Kansas, have never even been outside the country at all. So it's been a very popular addition to our program, and one that's quite unique. So if you're ready to apply, you can go to our website and online.kstate.edu and click how to apply. You can also email Brittany at online@ksu.edu to get the application fee waiver it's actually for not just for spring 2021, but she'll take care of you with getting that code that you need to enter. And then if you know others who might be interested and who didn't get a chance to attend this webinar, I don't have any more scheduled for the current academic year, but I'm always available to speak to anybody who's interested. And we can share this recording with you, as Brittany said earlier, so that you can share information with others who might be interested in joining you in the program. So that is my end of my prepared comments, and I'm happy to answer any questions. If you want to, since we're a small group, you can just turn your mic on. You don't have to worry about typing into the chat box. But I'd be happy to answer any questions now. No questions? I feel like I just rambled on and on, but Suzanne, do you think I missed anything?
So Susie, Cindy said that there were no questions, but
Okay.
Thank you for all the information. And Suzanne isn't able to unmute, but said that you did a great job. If any additional questions do come up in the future, kind of like Susie mentioned, you can either reach out to her or myself. I'll put both of our emails in the chat, and we would be happy to help you out. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Susie?
No, I feel like I just motored on through it, but I love talking about the program. So if I just went through anything too quickly, feel free to email me and I'm happy to answer any questions. Oh, and I also can do a pre-application transcript review if you have any concerns that you might not be eligible for the program. I can take a look at your undergraduate coursework if you send me unofficial transcripts and your resume. I could also draft up what a program of study would look like if you have an idea of when you'd like to get started. If you kind of want to see what the course sequencing would look like, I'm happy to provide that as well. Sometimes it's nice to see that there is an end in sight and you can kind of count on being finished by a particular date. But know that you have the flexibility to make changes if you need to. You're not locked in. But that draft program of study serves as an enrollment guide. And if you enroll the way that's laid out, you can expect to graduate by the date indicated at the end. But sometimes that's helpful. So yeah, I'd love to make you a wildcat.
So yeah, Cindy said that they did send in that information into the application and wondered if you could take a look at her credentials.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, so I put Susie's email in the chat. Feel free to reach out to her. And like she said, she's happy to look over those materials for you.
Perfect. All right.
Well, if there are no other questions, I want to thank everyone for joining us here tonight, as well as thank you, Susie, for giving us that great presentation. Like we mentioned, if you're ready to apply, please go to our website and select how to apply for detailed instructions. As a reminder, everyone who has registered for this webinar will be receiving a recording via email as soon as it's available. And also feel free to reach out to us at online@ksu.edu to request your application fee waiver for attending tonight. And if you have any additional questions we weren't able to cover, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Great. Have a great evening.
You too. Have a great evening, everyone.